Good evening. So let's start with chapter 8. This is a two-parter, I think. Chapter 8 turned out an intro. The first month of their Chris and Jackie's romance was a whirlwind. They even went to the West Coast to visit her family. Going back to San Francisco, he had to face the reality of the real world. 1980, late spring, he told Sherry that their marriage is over. Both Chris and Sherry experienced the consequences of his actions, and he felt the effects for the rest of his life. Their divorce proceeding took 9 years because other things were going on at the same time. Sherry moved to Oakland. Jackie became pregnant. January 28, 1981, his first son, Chris Jr., was born at the General Hospital. That's the government hospital of San Francisco. He loved his son. He felt a sense of familiarity with his newborn. He made a promise, no matter what happens, he would always be a part of his son's life. His son made him a better man, brought purpose and meaning to his life to an extent he never knew before. In the months before Junior was born, Chris got a chance to get to know Jackie better. She was a dental school student who was getting ready to graduate. Although she was impressed with the work he was doing under Dr. Ellis, his paycheck was not enough. Wasn't anywhere near as her colleagues. And the fact that he wasn't going to go on to medical school was also an issue with her as well, not just Sherry. More than that, the number one concern she had that bothered Chris the most was the fact that he grew up without his biological father. She needed to know, how's he gonna know how to be a father to their son when he never had a father in his life? Another issue was space. They were living in a one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco. With a newborn, it was too small for three of them. Also, with her still going to school, with him still working a dead-end job, how are they going to secure child care? Even if they can afford private daycare, there's a very long waiting list. Fortunately, they did find one near their apartment that was within their budget. Another issue was when he'll quit working for Dr. Ellis. The pay is not enough to cover the cost of living and childcare. However, it's difficult for Chris to find his next job. Any job will force Chris to start at the bottom, slowly work his way back up the corporate ladder. With each passing day, Jackie got more and more impatient. She got to the point where she gave him an ultimatum. He moves out, no contact with her son. With his back to the wall, he did whatever he had to do, pick up additional odd jobs. They also moved to Berkeley, which is less expensive than San Francisco. When Chris talked with his son about the fact that his son has a mother and a father, he realized that he needs to find his biological father. There were so many questions that he needed answers to. To that end, he went through the two pieces of information he had about his father, Thomas Turner, and his last known address, Monroe, Louisiana. When he went to the phone book gave him two men who matched. He picked one, made a phone call. The first person who answered the phone told him he is his father. The 28 journey came to an end. Around this time, he got a job in San Bruno as a sales rep for a medical equipment and supply company. Starting salary, $30,000, with potential to make more as he finds more buyers. The job was also out of his comfort zone. He's never been a sales rep. On his own, he had to figure out how to build relationships, how to represent a company that is unknown in the Bay Area, and also being the only black person in that company. So rather than have a Dr. Ellis to hold his hand, walk him through the process, his new boss just gave him a book and told him good luck. So he clocked hundreds of hours on the road, went to demo shows, traveled daily from Berkeley to Silicon Valley, loaded sales material several times every day, learned on his own that making phone calls that are down to earth and personable are the ones that are going to secure a sale, as well as remembering names of secretaries and learning little details of each buyer. Finally, his sales numbers went up. The downside to sales it's a competitive atmosphere. You can't just, make enough to make ends meet. All the sales reps are comparing each other's numbers. Also, after work, they have to go out to drink, socialize with each other. Before long, Chris was able to secure a plane ticket for him and his son to Louisiana to meet his biological father. At the airport, he met his biological father and one of his two half-sisters. He immediately saw the family resemblance. The next 4 days, he got a chance to get to know them better. He also met his paternal grandfather. She was wondering when she would finally get to meet his grandson. He also met his 3 other half-siblings and their extended family. And when he saw his son walk with his father, he was jealous that his son got this experience, but not him. When he and his son got back on the plane to return to Berkeley, he felt renewed and revived. He was ready to take on the world. He gained confidence and clarity of vision. He knew that great things were around the corner. So questions, comments, constructive criticisms, asking for clarification, let me know. In a couple of days, I will go over the next chapter. See ya.